Morning everybody. Happy Friday, the weekend now. I hope you've had a good week so far. Let's get started with today's class. So we're going to start with our stretch. We've been doing it a week. So just going to be pulling that tummy in to curve your back. Fingers are interlaced, arms are circling, and just dropping that upper body through the space. Nice deep breath. Dropping those arms, bring them behind, pulling back to lift the chest up. One more time of each, so bringing those arms in front and curving. Dropping those arms back, lift and lean. Relaxing there, we're going onto our mat. So here's where we're going to be laying on our backs to do our breathing exercises. So going to take those knees bent, feet on the floor. Got that slight curve underneath the lower back. Just bring those arms down beside you. And we're taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking these nice deep breaths in and out, I want you to think about the position of those hips. So keep them nice and level. Imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body nice and relaxed, shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. Keeping the weight evenly placed to your feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. Very gently tighten through the tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the mat. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release back out. Tucking under to flatten. Holding. Release back out. So as you're tucking under, we're trying to find that nice, strong, flat back position. You're using your pelvis and your tummy muscles to move. So you're just trying to avoid squeezing the bottom. For this next one, we're going to hold our flat back. So we're going to tuck under to hold. So as we hold this flat back position, we're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, I want you to tighten all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. We tighten. And release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder, and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to halve this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want this upper body to remain nice and relaxed, so shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. And if you are feeling really tense, just turning those palms up towards the ceiling. Pulling your tummy all the way down, so think belly button to the spine. That weight even for your feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. We're halving one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting. Something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So as you're tightening, that flat back position should feel really strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. From there, we're going to lift these legs up into tabletop. So your knees are coming up above your hips and your shins will be parallel to the ceiling. From there, we're going into toe taps. We're going to tap that foot down and we're lifting up, swapping sides. We're tapping down and lift, tap down and lift. So nice deep breath. So keeping the tummy tightened, using your pelvic floor. Breathe. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Let's take 2 more on each side. Tapping down and lift. Tap and lift. Last one each side. Tap down and lift. Tap down and lift. From there, we're going to hug those knees in towards the chest. And then we'll be on our hands and knees for our stretch through our back. Don't forget to grab yourself a drink if you need one. hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tummy's nice and tightened. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're curving your lower back. Arching the spine, we're going to drop that head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to let the pelvis come back out to your start position. Working through the spine. The head lifts. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. And the head lifts. So we want to get lots of movement through that back, working into each section piece by piece. Just taking your time if there are any areas of the back that feel really stiff or sore. Think of working into each vertebrae one by one, piece by piece through the back. Nice deep breaths. So as we're curving the back, we think of pulling the tummy all the way in. As we're releasing out to our start position, we're letting the shoulders come away from the ears. We've got two more here. We're going to tuck under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. We're releasing back out. The shoulders come away from the ears. We're lifting the head, but one more here, tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine, piece by piece. The head is the last thing to lift. Pushing back, bottom to the feet. Reaching those arms out in front, so you're in a shelf stretch position. And then we'll be on our sides for our chest opening stretch. So as you come onto your side, get those legs one on top of the other as you rest down. Arms coming up nice and long with palm to palm. So we're going to lift our top arm up so that the fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding there to take your stretch. Before you lift back up and over to come down palm to palm. We're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you. Twist away. We hold. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we're going to keep the legs glued together and grounded. Making sure this twist comes through your waist. Nice deep breaths. The arm reaches long from the fingertips all the way into that armpit. Really opening up through your chest. Looking at that hand for as long as you can. Keeping a really nice range of movement through the neck. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding there for your stretch. Before you lift back up and over. So come down palm to palm. We've got 1 more here. Lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and twist away. We're holding as we stretch before coming back up and over to come down palm to palm. So from here we're going to change sides. So you either roll over to face the other way, or you just swap the end of your mat that you're laying at. Just bear with me as I change sides. So again, resting down with those legs stacked, one on top of the other, arms nice and long. Same as the other side, we're going to lift that top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, and we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away, holding there, lifting back up and over, to come down palm to palm. So remember, you're keeping those legs glued together and grounded. So you're getting your twist in the waist. Stretching through the arm from the fingertips all the way into your armpit. So you're opening up in the chest. We're going to be taking nice deep breaths. We're looking at the hand for as long as we can. So we know we've got a good range of movement on both sides of the neck. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. Last one. Lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and you're twisting away. We're holding there to stretch. Before coming back up and over to come down palm to palm. From there, take a nice full body stretch. And then we're going to be on our backs. So if you want to take that stretch onto your back, you can. If not, just come up to sitting to grab a drink or something, and then we can go onto our backs from there. I'll just set this up. Okay, so from there, coming onto your back. We're going to have the knees bent, feet on the floor. And you want to be in neutral, so you've got a slight curve underneath your lower back. Just get those hands resting down beside you. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift your shoulders from the floor. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. So we're going to go chin to chest. We're lifting up. We hold. Control back down. So think about using your tummy muscles to lift you all the way up from the floor. So you're pulling that belly button down. Chin to chest position is there just to keep that neck nice and relaxed. So think big nod of the head before you're lifting up. Keeping the tummy nice and tightened, using that pelvic floor. Those shoulders stay away from the ears, reaching the arms nice and long. Let's take two more here and then we'll change our arms. Chin to chest, we lift. Holding. Control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold. Control back down. So from here, we're still going to use our chin to chest position. And as we lift up, we're then going to take one hand over to the opposite knee, so twisting across the body. Back to the centre, and then down. We'll swap sides, chin to chest, and we lift. We're going to reach across the body, back to the centre, and down. Reaching across. Centre and down. So you're still using your tummy muscles to lift you. Bring that belly button all the way down. Chin to chest position to keep the neck nice and relaxed. Take two more on each side, chin to chest, and we lift. Reaching across, centre, and down, chin to chest. Lifting up, we're reaching over. Back to the centre, and down. One more on each side, chin to chest. We lift, we're reaching across, back to the centre, and down, last one, nod the head and lift. Reaching over, back to the centre, and down, just hugging those knees in towards your chest. From there, you're going to be either on your knees or on your front, whichever of those positions you prefer. Grab a drink if you need one. I'll come further forwards so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so if you don't like bearing weight on the knees, excuse me, or you just don't find it comfortable to be in a knelt position, then you're going to lay on your front with your body nice and long, hands mat width apart in line with your ears, and you're just going into little chest lifts. Excuse me. If you're okay with being on your knees, then you're going to have them just underneath your hips. Sorry, I'm wearing dark clothes today, so it might not be as clear to see what I'm doing. What you want to have is your knees underneath your hips, nice and relaxed in your upper body, so you get those shoulders away from the ears. If you know you cramp a lot through your lower leg, tuck those toes under. If not, just leave them resting down. Take a slight nod in of that chin, so you've got chin to chest position. From here, really tighten through the tummy, and as you breathe in, you're going to lean back through the knees. Exhale, squeeze your bottom to lift you up. When leaning back, we squeeze to lift. So my lean is really tiny, like barely even noticeable. So you can make yours much bigger if you want to. The bigger that you make that lean, the more you're going to feel it through the front of the thighs. So if they're really firing up, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, it means that you're leaning in a nice direction back. Make sure the lean is from your knees and not through your hips. You shouldn't be hinging here, you're hinging from those knees. Really use the squeeze of your bottom and your exhale to push you back up to your start position. Those shoulders down, chest nice and open. We've got 2 more here, then we'll add some more movement in. So we're going to lean back and lift up. And leaning back, lifting up. So from there, if you're on your front, so you're going to go into double arm lifts. If you're on your knees like I am, take the hands in front of the chest. So now as you go to lean back, you're also going to add a twist, taking your arm away, looking at that hand. Come back to the centre. Lean and twist. Come back to the centre. So again, you can make your lean and your twist much bigger than mine if you want to. Remember, it's still through the knees, that lean, so you shouldn't be hinging back through your hips. The twist is just through the upper body. We're looking at that hand to make sure the whole of the upper body is moving. Your breath stays the same. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Squeeze that bottom. Tighten that tummy. Let's take 2 more on each side. Lean and twist. Lift back up. Lean and twist. Lift back up. 1 more time on each side. Lean and twist. Back up 1 more time. Lean and twist. Lifting back up. From there, whichever exercise that you've done, I need to push yourself back into a shell stretch. Ooh. Get yourself a drink if you need one. And then we're going to be on our backs for the 100. relax with your knees bent, feet on the floor, comfortable position. I'll talk you through and then we're going to go all together. If you have joined in this week already, it's exactly the same as the one we've already done, so you'll know what's coming up. So we will be in our normal flat back position for the 100, so really tucked under, lose that gap. And from there, I want you to lift your legs into tabletop, so your knees are above your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. If you want to challenge that tabletop position more, then take your knees away from your hips. So you're taking like a diagonal angle away, keeping the shins parallel, keeping this nice flat back. From there, you're going to be nodding the head, lifting the shoulders off, those arms are long. So we're going to be changing the facing of our hands as we're beating them. So as you're breathing in, your palms will face the floor. And as you're breathing out, your palms will face the ceiling. Okay, it's the same repetition, the same breathing, but your arms will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, from there, with your legs still lifted, your hands will be behind your head, and we're going to go into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. Once you finish there, you're going to rest that head down, rest the upper body down, the arms beside you. Keeping your legs lifted, you're gluing them together. You're going into 2 sets of 8, tipping them over, where that hip will release and come back to the centre. It's 2 sets of 8, so it feels like it goes on forever, but I'll count it so you'll know exactly how many you've done. And from there, we're just going to take a nice stretch out. So make sure you've got that really strong flat back position, really tuck yourself under. When you're ready, lift those legs to tabletop, so knees above your hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. We nod the head, lift the shoulders. Take those arms nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, take those hands behind the head, legs are still lifted. We're going into sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more, 8, 7, 6. Tummy's in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest your head down, arms come down beside you, glue those legs together. We're tipping over, release that hip, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Breathe, tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Keep those shoulders down as you tip over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. 8 more, tipping over. Use that tummy, and centre. Find that flat back, tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. 4 more, tipping over, and centre. Tipping over, and centre. Just 2 more, we tip over, And center, last one, tipping over. And center, hug those knees in towards your chest. Bring yourself into a full body stretch. And bring yourself up to sitting. Oh. Of course, grab yourself that drink if you need it. So, we're going to be going into our mermaid stretch. So we've done this one all week. So again, if you've already done a class this week, then you know what's coming up. If not, we have done it before, so most of you will have experienced doing the stretch. Excuse me. So with your legs, you can either do a full mermaid position, which is one leg in front, and the other leg tucked behind. Hopefully you can see that's my knee there, my foot is back here. If you are doing that position, try and get it pulled back, further back round, but it doesn't matter if you want it to be a little bit looser. If you're not able to get into that position, if it's painful with your hips or your knees, just bring yourself into a cross-legged position, but you still want one leg in front and one leg behind. If you're short on space, then bring yourself to one end of your mat and just make sure that the front leg is the leg that's got loads of room beside it, okay? That hand is going to be dropping down towards the floor, and your other arm, same side as your back leg, is reaching away from you. So you're going to lean towards that hand, keep reaching as you stretch all the way up and over. Let this hand touch the floor, and we're sliding away. Holding that position to take a nice stretch here. If you're flexible enough, bend this bottom elbow to drop yourself onto the mat. So you're stretching down this side of your body here. Really reach into the fingertips if you can. Nice deep breaths whilst you're here. Bring yourself back up and over. We're going again. Reach all the way up and over, sliding away, holding here. So really lengthening the side of your body. Back up. And over, one more time on this side. We're reaching all the way up, sliding away, holding here. Coming back up, and give those arms a little shake out. Just drop the head from side to side. You might start to build a little bit of tension up through that neck. From here, we're going to swap sides, so you need to take yourself down towards the other end of your mat. And then swap the position of your legs. So you're going to have the other leg in front, the other leg behind. So full mermaid, in front and behind. You should be able to see that a bit clearer. That's my knee, my foot is around here. Or you're in a tucked under position with that cross leg. If you're doing cross leg, it probably feel quite weird because you'll have gone to your favourite side first. It doesn't matter if you did mermaid on one side and cross legged on the other, that's fine. It's more important that your hips and your knees are comfortable. So remember, the side that you've got loads of room out, which should be your front leg, your arm is just dropping towards the floor. The side of the arm is long. Reaching towards that hand, leaning all the way up and over, sliding away. Take the weight into that hand, reaching the arm. Remember, you can bend this bottom elbow to drop your body down further. So you're lengthening this side of your body. Nice deep breaths. back up and over. And again, we reach, we lift all the way up and over, coming down, holding here. Come back up and over one more time. Reach, lifting to come up and over. Come back up and over. Give those arms a little shake out. Head goes from side to side. From there, you're going to take the soles of your feet together. So your knees are wide, your hips are really open, and we're doing little bounces up and down. Just small little quick ones. They haven't got to be very big. Keep tall through the upper body. From there, you're going to relax on the bounces and take your hands onto your feet. Push your elbows into your legs to increase that stretch if you can. We're relaxing there. And from there, we're going to be going on to our sides to work on our legs. Just get rid of this. Remember to grab yourself that drink if you need it. So as you bring yourself onto your side, as normal, you can either have your head resting on one arm that's underneath you, or you can bend and support through the head. I want you to take the legs bent, so we're going to go into our clam openings to begin with. So your feet will be glued together. You have your hand on your hip just to keep it nice and stable and secure. We still want to be really tight and through the tummy if you can. From here, you're going to lift the top knee up as high as you can, but keeping the feet together and the hips stabilised. And come back down. Lifting up and down. It doesn't have to be really massively high. Just working into this, the muscles that are controlling abduction at the hip, which is where you're lifting your leg away from you. 4 more here. We're lifting up and down. Up and down. Last 2. We're lifting up and down. We're lifting up and down. From there, take the legs out long. Keeping this hand on the hip, making sure that those hips are nice and balanced. So sitting directly one on top of the other. From there, your hand can come down to the floor, but make sure you're zipping up underneath your waist. Flex your feet, look down your body. If you can see your toes, then you're in the right line. If not, just bring them a little bit further forwards. We're going to lift this top leg up pointed. Flex to come back down. Don't lift it any higher than your hip. Point to lift. Flex to come back down. Lifting up and down. Push through that foot with the point. And flex. We've got 4 more here. Lift up and down. Pointing up. Flexing down. Last 2. Point to lift. Flex to come down. Point to lift. Flex to come down. We're lifting up and going into circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg forwards, so your weight is in this front knee. This hip will be sliding forwards as well, that doesn't matter for now. You're lifting that underneath leg up and down. Lift and down. We're lifting up and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lifting up and down. Last one. Lift and down. Push yourself back up. Check you're nice and restacked. And then we're going to be going into double leg lifts. So you're lifting straight up and down. Lift and down. You can use this hand here. Lift and down. Lift and down. We're lifting up and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. From there we're going to swap sides. So just take your time to either roll over and face the other way, or change the end of the mat that you're laying at. So remember, you're going to be in your clam position first. So your knees are bent, you're gluing those feet together. Your hand is on that hip to stabilise. Lifting that top leg up and down. Lift and down. Tighten the tummy. Lift and down. Breathe and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift up and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lifting up and down. So from there you need to reach those legs long and away from you. The hand and the hip is there just to check you're nice and stacked. So you've got one on top of the other. Should feel like you're having to use that tummy to keep you there. You can bring those hands down for support if you need to. Flexing those feet, look down your body, you should be able to see those toes. If not, bring those feet slightly further forwards. We lift up pointed, flex to come down. Point to lift, flexing down, point to lift, flexing down. So you're really working through that foot into each little bit of the ankle. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Lift up into circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg forwards, so sitting into that front hip. The underneath leg is coming up and down, up and down, lifting up and down, up and down. 4 more. Lift and down, lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down, lift and down. Push yourself back into your stacked position. So remember, you want those hips nice and on top of one another. Going straight into double leg lifts, coming up and down. Lift and down. Breathe. Lift and down. Lift and down. Halfway. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Bring yourself into a full body stretch. You can roll onto your back here if you need to. Give those legs a little shake out. And then if you need to, grab yourself a drink. Oh, I just spilled that down me. Okay, from here we're going to be on our hands and knees. So I want you to bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Tuck those toes under. As always, if you suffer from really sore wrists, you're dropping down to your forearms. keeping them parallel to one another, don't let them cross in or splay out. As you breathe out, you're pulling your tummy all the way in, pressing into your hands and your feet to give you that lift from the floor through the knees. Inhale to come back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. So the tummy muscles are lifting you. Your hands and your feet are there for support. Nice deep breaths. You want to try and keep that head in line with the rest of the spine, so making sure that you're not dropping your head, that you're not forcing that head too far up. If you're on long arms, you're looking just past the fingertips. If you're on your forearms, you're looking straight down towards that mat. You've got 4 more here. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, we're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Relaxing there. Take a stretch back and roll through those wrists. You can have a shell stretch there if you want to. And then we're going to go into our planks. So if you've done a class with me this week, then you'll know that we're doing downward dog into a full plank. I'll demonstrate 1 repetition with you. Obviously my plank will be on my knees, and then I'm going to sit the rest out. I'm afraid I'll just talk you through. So of course you can be on your forearms again here if you need to. Just going to feel really close to the floor. Bring your hands and your knees at a diagonal angle away from your body. Your toes are still nice and tucked under. I want you to push your bottom up really high so you come into that downward dog position. Holding there, you're just going to walk through with the feet. So just little step outs. For as long as you need to, really just getting a nice stretch through the legs. From there, you're then going to bring your bottom under and your body forward so you come into your plank position, where you're going to hold for breath in and out, then relax. Then when you're ready, you'll go again, pushing your bottom up nice and high into your downward dog position, starting to step out through those feet. So those step outs are just little padding through the feet, walking through, just to make sure that you're stretching the legs, you're nice and comfortable. Then when you're ready, bring yourself forwards into that plank. Hold for your breath in and out. Then you can control back down. Making sure that you're breathing the whole time that you move. So don't hold your breath when you're in your downward dog. You're still taking nice deep breaths. Just think of that being a nice lengthen through the body, through the legs. Taking your time to stretch out. Remember that you want to make sure that your hips are high in your downward dog and they're in line with your body and your plank. So when you're in your downward dog, think about pushing your body away from your hands to get that triangle position. When you come into your plank, think about bringing your shoulders over the tops of your arms. If you're on long arms, you'll be up above the whole arm. If you're in your forearms, you're just coming above the upper arm, and that should help you to bring that bottom in line. If it's too high, you won't be working your tummy. If it drops too low, putting tons of pressure through that lower back. So just be aware of that position. Nice and controlled. Just take your time. You can have a little break in between them if you need to. Your shoulders are away from the ears. Just moving through those positions. The going to take 2 more here. So push that bottom up nice and high into your downward dog. Stepping through those feet, little paddings. Getting that nice stretch. Start to bring yourself forwards into that long plank position. Tighten that tummy, squeeze your bottom. Breathe in and out. Relax back down. One more here. Bring that bottom up nice and high. Walking through those feet. Stretching in those legs. When you're ready, bring yourself into a nice long plank position where you're going to hold to breathe in and out. Relaxing down. As you relax down, just take a shell stretch back. Push your bottom to your feet, reaching forwards, and just give those wrists a little roll through, especially if you've been on long arms. And then bring yourself either into a seated, a knelt, or a standing position, whichever you prefer. Good, and from there we're just going to take a roll back of the shoulders. And forwards. Bring the arms out to the sides. And we're going to lift up and stretch over. Come back to the centre of the side, we're lifting up and over. One more time on each side, lifting up and over. We're lifting up and over. Relaxing now, that's the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope that you've all enjoyed the sessions today and this week. Little waffle on here. So next week there's no classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I'm away visiting my sister and my lovely niece and nephew. What I will do is on the Facebook page I will reshare an old video. YouTubers are more than welcome to just flick back, to just scroll down, all of the videos are on there so you can use those. And then there will be a class again Thursday and Friday, and then the following week is our last week of Pilates before I stop. So yeah, I'll remind you all of that at the end of next week, that we're going into the final week, where I'll probably be a little bit more emotional and I'm talking at the end because it's come to an end really quickly. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I hope you have all had a lovely week. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see lots of you towards the end of next week and into our final week. Don't forget, if you need to, drop me a message, any questions that you have. Take care. Bye.